All right, let's just jump right in. We're about to explore a universe that honestly operates on a completely different set of rules than our own. It's a reality built from the ground up on a single, really elegant law of physics, a law that dictates everything from its government all the way down to how people breathe.
You're going to hear this phrase a lot. The engine must flow. Now, you have to understand, this isn't just some catchy slogan or piece of propaganda. In this universe, it's an operational constant. It's pretty much the fundamental law of survival.
So, that's the big mystery we're tackling today, right? What exactly is the Wenjin? And why is its constant movement the only thing standing between this entire reality and total collapse? Well, to figure that out, we've got to go deep into the source code of this place.
To really get our heads around the culture, the politics, even the language, we have to start at the beginning. We have to start with the single physical law that governs absolutely everything. You can think of it as the source code for this entire reality.
It all kicks off with a concept we're all pretty familiar with: energy. Just like here, every action takes it, every system is full of it. Seems simple enough, right? But trust me, this is just the first piece of a much bigger puzzle.
And here's where it starts to get weird. We add another component: information. See, in the aux continuum, every single action carries not just physical force, but it also carries data. Your intent, the structure, the meaning behind an action, it's all just as fundamental as mass or velocity. You don't just do things, you encode things. And here it is, the whole shebang. This is the flow identity. This one little equation is the backbone of, well, everything. What it's saying is that the total sum of energy, information, and structure, that's the physical arrangement of matter, has to stay constant over time. Always. So if you build something new, you have to balance the books, cosmically speaking. Every action has an equal and opposite countershift. And this idea of balance is everywhere. Every act of creation, which they call code, is automatically met by its inverse, anti-code. Think of it like this. You build something, and the universe instantly creates the blueprint to unbuild it, to recycle it, or to correct any flaws. It's this constant, universal dance of action and reaction. So, a law of physics is one thing, but how do you build an entire civilization on top of it? I mean, if your reality demands perfect constant balance, how do you design a government that won't just immediately collapse? Well, you build it directly from that law of flow. This right here is the prime axiom of their government, which is called the Agamemnian Concordat. You can think of it as an ethical firewall. It's the one rule that stops the state from messing with individual consciousness. They'll manage resource flows, city statistics, population groups, sure, but they will never, ever touch the private thoughts of a single person.
And the government structure itself is actually modeled on a living organism. Seriously, the longhouse is like the brainstem where they deliberate. The columns are like specialized lobes in the brain, each handling something specific like ethics or legislation. And then the chordates and communes are kind of like states and cities, all interconnected. It's political biology.
Inside this system, you've got these incredibly important figures, like the controller. Think of this person as, I don't know, kind of like the head of the Federal Reserve, but for physics. Their job isn't just managing an economy of money, but an entire economy of energy, data, and what they call resonance, the literal vibration of society. They have to make sure the whole system doesn't just fall apart from statistical noise.
And this is their main tool, the control glove. Now, this isn't magic, it's a piece of seriously advanced tech. It's a wearable interface that connects them to the physics of their universe. It lets the controller literally touch raw data streams, stabilize a metric that's gone haywire, or stop a wave of hyperinflation dead in its tracks.
Now, to handle that much raw information without going completely insane, the controller needs protection. That's what the clean suit is for. It's basically a firewall for your senses, filtering out all the chaotic noise from trillions of data points so they can see the pure signal underneath without getting corrupted by it themselves. And to make absolutely sure they stay as a neutral guardian of truth and not just another politician, the controller serves for one single non-renewable term of 10 years. That's it. It's called the Communico Decado, which literally means a decade of pure communication between the system and reality. After their 10 years are up, they're done.
The law of flow is so fundamental, so baked into everything, that it even shapes how people talk. Their language is keyed directly into human physiology and the nature of time itself.
Get this. Their primary spoken language, called breathlang, encodes time directly into the act of breathing. When you want to talk about the future, you inhale. When you talk about the past, you exhale. And to speak about the present moment, you hold your breath. It's a language you literally feel in your body as much as you hear with your ears.
Now, imagine taking that incredibly physical, intuitive language and merging it with something called systematica, a formal language of pure mathematics. What you get is Concordia. It's this high language where words carry emotional weight and numbers carry philosophical meaning. It's a place where thought becomes syntax, and syntax can literally be used to simulate reality.
So why? Why is all of this necessary? The super complex government, the perfectly balanced physics, the language tied to time. What's the point? Well, it's because the alternative isn't just chaos, it's nothingness.
And here are the ultimate stakes. This is what it all comes down to. Flow is life. It's adaptation, it's order. But if the engine ever stops, if the system stagnates, it all collapses into death, tyranny, and something they call necrosilence, the absolute final end of everything. This is why the engine must flow, because stagnation is literally extinction.
Okay, so we've just mapped out the core physics, the government, and the existential threat of this entire universe. You understand the principles? And now, the spotlight shifts to you.
51. That's the number of estats, or state-like territories, that make up the Dominion. Every single one has its own unique culture, its own economy, its own unique resonance.
And 8. These are the 8 governing columns, everything from legislative to ethics, and they all have to be kept in perfect balance. If they're not, the flow stops and the whole system starts to collapse.
You understand the rules now. You can see all the pieces on the board, and you know exactly what the stakes are. The system is yours to manage. So, what's your first move?